Hey guys, welcome back to the Wellham's World YouTube channel, and today we have another tier list. Today we're looking at every single Black Ops 6 map, Zombies map, ranked. Very recently on the most recent Thursday gone, should I say, released Reckoning, the final DLC, or at least that's what it's been touted as. There are a few things here and there that make me think that maybe there's a little bit more to come from Black Ops 6. However, can't really live off of speculation and sort of hope, but we've got 6 maps today: Liberty Falls, Terminus, Citadel Day Moore, The Tomb, Shattered Vale and Reckoning, and we've got tiers 1 to 6 here. I'm just going to rank them from worst to best. The reason why is usually my tiers would say top 1 or top 3 or top 5 or something like that, then great, good, mid, and then not for me, that kind of thing. However, I think that all of the Black Ops 6 maps are at the very least good. I don't know if that's a controversial statement, but we're going to talk a little bit about each map as we rank them, as we go through, and we'll go from bottom to top, and I'll just talk a little bit about what I like and dislike about each one. None of these are perfect maps. However, I do think that Black Ops 6 probably has the sort of most consistently good maps. Maybe Black Ops. I think Black Ops 6 has a genuine shout for being like a top 5 zombies experience. I don't know if I'd put it quite right at the top, but certainly up there. Depends what kind of thing you're into. Obviously, I think Black Ops 3 and 4 I would say are probably better, and then you could argue IW, but IW does have its downfalls and shortcomings and such. But anyway, we'll get into it. And we're going to start at number 6, at the bottom, Terminus. Now, as I said, I do think every single map is at least good. This was a launch map, one of 2, alongside Liberty Falls. It got touted as to be the biggest zombies map yet. It was meant to be the hugest, grandest, largest scale map yet. And to be honest, it probably is in terms of like sheer sort of area on the map. However, the only area on the map that genuinely seems worth using is the actual main island with the prison, and I think that's one of the biggest downfalls. Is all these other separate islands. Obviously, you've got one where you exfil on, and you've got the shipwreck where you can get Wonder Fizz, or there's a step to the Easter egg there, and I think that is basically what these extra areas and the water and stuff like that is. It's just ways to. They just used it as a excuse to have them in there by having the Easter egg happen. Certain steps happen throughout each of the minor islands, but in terms of just general game-to-game gameplay, there's no reason for you to go off the main island. You could genuinely just do a game and not have to go anywhere. Unless, of course, you want Wonder Fizz, would be the only reason for you to venture off or exfil. Yeah, and then obviously occasionally they'll put a SAM trial on there, but realistically there's not any reason for you to go off the main island. I do like the Wonder Weapon, the Beam Smasher. It's not the most amazing Wonder Weapon in the world. It's alright, and I think the addition of Melee Macchiato was interesting, whilst not necessarily the most groundbreaking perk in the world. You just get stronger melee. It's at least quite fun. And the amalgams, which were rather annoying, to say the least, but you could deal with them better in further maps, I would argue. But for now, Terminus number 6. Not saying it's bad. It's just the worst out of 6 good maps. And second, fifth technically, but second bottom, I'm going to put Liberty Falls. Now, when Liberty Falls was announced, it got nicknamed Liberty Balls, and people seemed to absolutely despise the idea of it, really. It got clowned on. It was too bright. It doesn't feel like zombies, this, that and the other. However, I would argue it does feel like it feels a bit of like it brings back the classic zombie survival map sort of vibe to it. No dead shot on the map from launch, which was a bit annoying. And the jet gun, I would argue, is not necessarily it's still shit. It's better than what it was in Transit. However, it's still not a good wonder weapon, I would argue. Abomination comes back, which is fine, because I think the Abomination, I do prefer the Abomination to the Amalgam. However, it's also like a very straightforward Easter egg. It's very much launch bonus map, but was like a fun survival map, if that makes sense. And it just felt the most sort of akin to older zombies, which I know a lot of people were and ended up becoming one of the more fan favorite ones of the cycle, really, which I was quite surprised at. But again, still a good map. And we go to number 4. I'm going to put the Tomb. Now, initially when I first played the Tomb on my stream, if you go back to my stream where I played the Tomb for the first time, I ended it quite early and I was like, not feeling this map at all. I played it quite a lot after that fact, and it grew on me and grew on me and grew on me. I didn't like the Wonder Weapon initially, but the upgraded Wonder Weapon is fantastic. The upgraded Wonder Weapon is also a good way to deal with the amalgams. So yeah, they are a difficult enemy to deal with. However, you can deal with them quite comfortably. Shock Mimics are in there, which aren't good or bad. They're just there. They're very easy to kill, and it would have been nice to see them sort of disguise themselves as things that you would just see genuinely fall on the floor, rather than seeing an ammo mod in the middle of just the map. And it is also visually a very good looking map. Obviously you got the above ground sort of the tomb area where you go into the underground bit, but then you've got the Dark Aether part as well, which all looks phenomenal. The Easter egg is very straightforward, except for the boss fight, which took me numerous attempts to defeat, and I eventually did beat it. And since beating the Tomb, I haven't really played it that much, because I was playing it so much just to get to the point where I could beat it. It's the only one. I mean, I haven't done, at the time of recording, I haven't done the Reckoning Easter egg, but it's the only one that I didn't do with the early access, or like before the guided mode comes out, which I'm absolutely gutted for, because it's annoying that I've done every single other one. But again, very good map. The other thing I don't like about the Tomb is the cutscene after you've done the Easter egg. It's just shit. It's very much a filler map. It feels like you go there to get the Sentinel artifact, which plays into the rest of the maps. So yeah, it feels very filler. It's very much a bonus map, it seems like, and it's a good survival map. Again, similar to Liberty Falls, it's a good survival map, but it's not the most in-depth map in the world, which is absolutely fine. Not every single map has to be over elaborate and crazy. I'm moving into third. I'm going to go with the new map, Reckoning. This could change if you gave me 2-3 months, and I played the Reckoning relatively frequently, or say for example went back and played through each one of the maps in a stream or something. I am planning at some point, I need to do some practice on it, but I am at some point planning to do maybe a super Easter egg stream where I go through all of them in chronological order. Reckoning, at the time, as I said, at the time of recording, it's the only Easter egg I've not done. I am planning on doing it at some point. The map seems fun. It seems very fun. I like the fact that there are 3 towers that you can sort of get into. You can get into the 2 main ones, and then you can break into the 3rd one as part of the Easter egg. I have seen, whilst I've not done the Easter egg, I have seen the final cutscenes. You can choose to help Sam, or you can choose to help Richtofen. That determines what boss fight you get, and also determines what final cutscene you get. I'm not going to spoil it because it's obviously still very fresh, and some people may not have seen it or may not have completed the Easter egg and don't want it to be spoiled. I have seen that helping Richtofen and fighting Sam is the easier of the 2 boss fights. I like the Uber Klaus. It's very tough, but if you figure out to shoot the shoulder pads off, it's absolutely fine. The one thing I'm not massively keen on so far with this map specifically is the Wonder Weapon. I've only used it once, so I can't really claim that it's bad or good. You can't pack a punch it. I've been told that there are fire mods that you can kind of equip with it. You can like get upgrades for it. I've only used the default version. I don't know if that if it's confirmed that there are fire mods or not. I'm not too sure. But the default version, you shoot it once and it just shoots like ray bullets, like laser bullets, and then if you hold it down, it sort of suspends them in the air, which is good for like getting you out of trouble for a horde. However, it does not help in damaging them because it doesn't do any damage to the zombies. But yeah, so far it's at number 3. I do think it has the if I play it a bit more, it has ability to maybe, it could go higher or lower, depends on how fed up I get of the map. But I do like the final cutscene for it. Both versions are pretty cool, and it sets up big stuff, which I'm wondering, is it going to be the next game? Judging by the fact that the next game comes out in like 2 months, probably. But there is still that one space in the Wonder Fizz machine that says it's empty, so I don't know if we're going to get a new perk without a map, or if we're going to get some sort of bonus map, or maybe a Chronicles 2.0, who knows. But anyway, that's the Reckoning. And the final two, Citadel Daymore and Shattered Vale. Number 2 is Citadel. When this came out, I love the aesthetic of it. I love the teasers they did of it. The Easter egg is fun. The sort of whimsical, magical elements of the swords and the boss fight. It's all I do enjoy the sort of, and the way it brings in the chaos theory as well. Citadel Daymore is the map with the cutscene where you learn that you have to go get the Sentinel artifact. I'm pretty sure, unless that happens, I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure Citadel Daymore, in that cutscene, you learn that thingy is the guy that you talk to is at Craft is also Richtofen's dad. So that's how you find out about where Richtofen falls into this sort of. Basically, you find out that you might need to help him, as similar to Shattered Vale. I think the end of Terminus might be where you learn about the Sentinel artifact. You go to Citadel to pick up an amulet, which you then take to the tomb to put in to then get the Sentinel artifact from the tomb. It's just fucking in my head a little bit that this isn't in chronological order, which obviously. But the swords, while they're not the strongest wonder weapon in the world, I do like the sort of mystical, magical element to it. I like there's 4 different elemental upgrades that you can use for each member of the team, and it is just generally the vibe of the map, the setting and everything. It is just a banger, quite eerie, quite close quarters for the most part, and just good fun. And finally, Shattered Vale. It's the most sort of out there one. Visually, it looks incredible. The score, the music, when you walk through into the mansion for the first time, is awesome. The Raygun Mark II, though, you can get 3 elemental upgrades for it, and the Wonder Waffle all being on this map. I know a lot of people were saying stuff about, it's not an original Wonder Weapon, things like that. I get that. I get the argument, but I'm a big fan of the Raygun Mark II, and I'm a big fan of the Wonder Waffle. So that's why I am a big fan of this. And I also think that the cutscene that you get at the beginning of Liberty Falls was more sort of along the lines of what people thought Liberty Falls was going to be, but it turns out it's more like what Shattered Vale, with Richtofen with the Wonder Waffle running through the mansion, was a weird cutscene to put at Liberty Falls when it should have been at Shattered Vale. And the boss fight was honestly incredible. Can't really argue with it. It's such a good boss fight. It brought double tap back as well, which is a phenomenal perk. And yeah, it's just honestly, I'd be tempted to look at my tier list for every Zombies map ranked, and I'd be curious to see where each 6 of these would fit. Because Shattered Vale, I played a lot of it when it came out, and I didn't get sick of it like I did The Tomb. I just kept playing it over and over and over and over and over. And then there was a point where I just kind of stopped playing Call of Duty altogether. But Shattered Veil was one where I was playing it on repeat and I was getting the ray gun every time and things like that. So I would say Shattered Veil is it's going to be up there in terms of all time for me. And I think Call of Duty Black Ops 6 will be. I think people look at current zombies with a tint of nostalgia, you know, and they say that it's not as good as it used to be. Black Ops 3 was the peak. It fell off at Black Ops 4. Couldn't recover with Cold War. But this game, all these 6 of these maps are at least good. And I don't think Terminus and Liberty Falls are anything higher than good, or maybe even The Tomb. I'd argue those 3 would just be good. And if I get a bit more time in on the Reckoning, I'll figure that out. But this is great, and this is peak. This is very good. But let me know what you think to that. Let me know where you think we're going to go in Black Ops 7, obviously with the cutscenes, without spoiling it in the video. The cutscene to the Reckoning seemed quite juicy, and I like the leaks that I've been seeing about Black Ops 7, but nothing's been really confirmed about the zombies yet. So we'll just kind of see where we go from here. But thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of this list and how you would rank them in the comments below. If there's any other Call of Duty related tier lists and things you want me to do, also let me know. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody, and goodbye.